evening, all. Ira Epstein, and here we are on May 8th, Wednesday, 2024, 5:15 p.m. Central Time. You know, today watching in the futures, to me, it was like watching paint dry. There's just not a lot of action right now. The markets are sitting very much still. There's too much up in the air. Number one, we're still very worried. What is inflation doing? We don't really have any major reports coming out on inflation until next Wednesday, a week from today, when we get our CPI. And you've got to keep your eye on what shelter costs are going to be, because we see in Australia, Canada, the United States, the UK, that shelter costs are problematic. They're staying high. What do those four countries have in common? Migration. So as the immigrants have come in, it's created, basically, you have X amount of housing, you got higher rates, they're taken, and it keeps the shelter cost up. It's uniform pretty much through these four countries, and that we're one of them, and that's what's going on. The Biden administration is talking of doing something on the border. They're keeping it a secret as early as tonight or tomorrow, so we'll find out probably very quickly as to what this may or may not be. Tomorrow, let's take a look at the reports we have coming out. We have jobless claims for the week. They're expecting 214,000. And as I said, it's not a big news time. And you have EIA natural gas storage. They're looking for the market to be putting in about 90 billion cubic feet. But you are getting a little bit of a bid in the energies, just a little. Nothing running away, yet gold is down. If they were both up, I'd say something's going on between Israel and Hamas, but I can't report that other than to say Israel's there. Its soldiers have fanned out now within a mile. They're from the crossing. They've gone out a mile. They have their bulldozers there. They are taking buildings down. They're being surgical about what they're doing. They do have airplane attacks going on at the same time, missile strikes, if you will. So it's quieter, but they're sending a message to Hamas. We're on your doorstep, the final brigades. Do you want to have a treaty or not under our terms, not Hamas's terms? Those aren't going to happen. Maybe a compromise of sight, but the army's not leaving. The Israeli army is not leaving Gaza for a long time. So as you look at the market, you've got gold up $8 for the week, up, a third of a percentage point? Nothing really going on. You could see how everything is narrowed in. The ranges have gotten shorter and shorter in their size. You don't have a trend. You have a lower low and a higher high on the swing line. Now, what a swing line does, just so you know, see the brown line? I wrote this study years ago. I had then a very young son. He's going to be near 40 now. And I said, I can get you to walk into a room, my friends. You can look at a chart, take out a pencil, draw a line, and tell them what the trend is. He goes, yeah, and I taught him how to do it. He'd blow people away. And they go, how can you do that? He says, and he learned it. An uptrend's higher highs, higher lows. A downtrend, lower highs, lower lows. And no trend has a lower low and a higher high. The key was finding something where you can look at a previous bar and having a set of rules so you can create an indicator that always draws it the same way. If you can't do that, you don't have an indicator. If it's just you eyeballing it, that's your eyeball. That's like your stomach's telling you to do something. That rarely works. When you look at where the market's at, another one of my rules is when the market is under the red line, and I call that the line in the sand, I use the 18-day moving average of closes on daily charts, I have a downside bias. It's a filter on the swing line. So if the filter is saying this, now just listen. If I had a buy signal under this and you're under that, it's just a short covering rally. It's not a bull trend. To get a buy signal, you have to have the swing line going with higher lows, higher highs over this 18-day average as it did here. And that gives me the signals that I want. It's simplistic, and believe me, what I have learned in this business is simplistic is what works. Complicated does just that. They get so complicated, one rule trips over the other. When I created my charting course, I used 5 indicators. There's no reason for MACD, RSI, slow stochastics all on one chart. They just fight with each other. They don't help each other. You're looking for each indicator on a chart to filter out the other indicator until you're left with something that says, I have a trade, be it long or short. I have a trade situation. When that doesn't happen, why do anything? There's always something going on somewhere. Just be patient. Lower low, higher high, and then we get to this part of the market, oversold. So if you want to be bearish, and by the way, this doesn't have a bear signal yet, but if you wanted to and you're already oversold, you're either counting it's going to embed, and that's not that often that occurs, or you're probably selling into a market that's using its exhaustive power. Another thing I look at is to find out which one is stronger than the other in metals. I run the gold-silver ratio. I take the price of gold and I divide silver into it, and it's telling me I need 83.99 ounces of silver to get 1 ounce of gold. Okay, it's under the 18-day average. The lower the number goes, the less amount of silver I have to give you for 1 ounce of gold. Therefore, silver is stronger than gold. Then I come to the chart, and lo and behold, this market is knocking on the door of the 18-day average. Any move over 2377.5 and a close over the 18-day average would be bullish. I'd have the swing line up. I'd have prices over the 18-day average. And momentum has turned itself up. So I know what I'm looking for, but the signal hasn't happened. In the copper market, this is the first support zone in the market. Now, the weekly chart's a bit lower than this, but this is the first support, and it's where the pros are probably nibbling onto the long side. You wouldn't want prices to get much under this low, and one of the targets is up here. Now, admittedly, listen to what I'm saying. You have higher lows, but you also have lower highs. Do you see that? So the market's now narrowing in on you a bit like this. When we got up here, I was warning traders, and we had this big outside day down, and I said, have you taken my outside day course? That is a signal that you don't have a continuation of the uptrend unless you take out that high right away. And you didn't do that, and you went right on down. And I was looking for the 18-day average when you lost the bullish momentum. You crossed over here. Now it's come in, and you're back down to that number. That's where this market's going to be the first place it's going to try to hold. I didn't think platinum would be the strongest metal today. I didn't think anything. It could go higher. It's the only one that's been in an uptrend, but I thought it was running out of steam as it's overbought, and it really didn't go anywhere, but it did better than I thought it was going to do. And in the dollar, look at how you've narrowed in these Bollinger Bands. Now you're in a wait and see. It's like you take your thumbs and you're going like that with them. You're waiting to see what the next play is. This is where you get your money ready, because trades are going to come out of this. So be ready for them. I don't know what will trigger them, but they're coming. Whenever you narrow in like that, it's a good sign. I talk about that and a lot more every morning starting at 6 a.m. Central Time. I'll cover the futures markets first. My charts will look this way. Yeah, they're jet black. You're going to have more studies on them. I explain them. I teach you every morning what they are in the stochastic. 5 indicators, more moving averages. That's why you're seeing those lines right there. And I'll cover the daily and the weekly. We're going to talk fundamental and chart news. On our website, the futures video will tell you the time that I post and everything right here. And then you get to the spider video as to when I'm posting and where they're at. I always wait until 9 o'clock to start my spider video, as I want that first half hour to be money that's traded in the outside hours, the aftermarket hours, to come back in and get the reports out of the way and take it from there. 40 futures, 40 spider ETF charts are covered. We give you at the same time analysis, well, not but an application for your phone. So whether you have an Android or an Apple, it'll come in. You could hit that. I'll send you a text message if you're in America, and an email message that the videos have been posted. Once they're posted, just click it. It'll play right through the app on your phone if you want. You can go to your computer screen, watch it. And as I do special reports, I'm chomping at the bit to do 2 of them right now. One for the ETF and stock market, one for the futures. I'm just waiting. I need something to happen in the markets. This is located at iraepstein.com on the website. You can come up here as well. iraepstein.com icon will be up there. Give it a click and join us. I'm Ira. You have yourself a great day.